heart attack. Fast fatal heart impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, quite a lot of things have been happening. Now, Deku, him and his friends have gotten to the Northern Water Tribe, and their boat recently docked into a city. Rulin, one of Deku's friends, they told Deku quite a bit of things that were going on. They have been trying to stay on top of what's going on with the bleeding effect. And right now, the world, it's almost 20% covered, or believed to be covered, in portals. Now, these portals, they lead to the spirit world, and spirits have been bleeding through them. Now, these spirits, they either range from hostile, I believe the word's benevolent, or friendly. Now, many of these spirits, though, they are hostile. And right now, a lot of people, they're confused. The Earth Nation, they tried to figure things out. After hearing about this, they didn't know what to think. However, then reports started to come in. Video evidence and pictures. And that's where things start to get a lot more complicated. The Earth Nation, after seeing physical evidence of portals, they retracted their statements of war. And right now they are trying to discover what is going on. The Fire Nation, the Water Nation, the Air Nations, and, well, the Water Nations. Every nation is dealing with this. They're even in Japan. Right now this is a worldwide threat. And Deku, many members of the organization turned themselves in whenever he revealed himself. Now, the Avatar obviously is getting negative response. However, whenever they docked into a town, Deku, he found his parents. And he was even confronted by people who wanted to take him in. The police, they were obviously hateful about Deku. Deku was involved in acts that were bad. And, well, they killed a lot of people. Deku took life. That is a crime. And right now, Deku, he told the police officers very simply, after taking all of them down, if they don't learn from their mistakes, they won't grow. He's made mistakes. He's fucked up. And right now, if he doesn't fix his mistakes, all of them are going to die. So, leave him alone. Now, it was very obvious at this point about what was happening. The police can't take Deku in. He won't allow that. And Deku, he ran into his parents, where he introduced his friends. Now, Deku then headed off towards the north, where he believes the spirit portal might be. Now, that was 2 days ago, and Deku, in this amount of time, he's been doing very much. He's been trying to be careful. Yesterday while he was flying, he had to beware. Snow blindness is a very real possibility. His eyes started to get fuzzy, and everything was just so bright. He had to land and at least try to be careful. It was hard. He thought that he could navigate using the spiritual sense, trying to sense spirit energy. However, with how abundant it does feel here, it's like a needle in a haystack. And right now, Deku, he is walking through the snow. And it feels odd. It should be closer to Arctic summer. But somewhere around this morning, a blizzard rolled in. I mean, strong winds and powerful snow. It's hard to imagine. Is this what's going on here? Is the spirit energy messing with the weather? That'd be what Deku just think. And right now, he is trying to be careful. As he's stepping through the snow, he does hear a few things. And right now, Deku, after hearing it, he does get ready. As he does get to turn his body. Him going to actually, with waterbending, create a solid surface. Him flying upwards into the air, as he does start to look around. He can't see, and the distance that he can, there's nothing around him. But he knows it's there, right? Where is it? Where is it? That makes me just think. And right now he does hear it. The barking and the howls. There are creatures here. Now, Deku, he does try to fend off the ambush. And with a few blasts of firebending, he actually has to scare away the creatures. Now, Deku, he does continue his walk. And he eventually would start to make his way towards the eye of the storm. And as he does get closer and closer, the storm does start to somewhat die down a bit. It was heavy earlier, but now it's starting to get a little bit more okay. And Deku, he actually does walk over a hill. Him looking down and seeing a spirit portal. The way it looks, the tear in reality. Now, Deku, he does see some spirits who are wandering out of it. As Deku does see that, he actually is going to bring up his hands. Him going to have his eyes begin to start glowing. Before, he does gotta bring up his hands and start bending. Now, the portal behind the spirits does start to close up. And as the portal does start to shrink and shrink back together, it does get to make a strange sound. It's closing together before disappearing. And the spirits who are all there, they start to fade out. Them going to scatter in the wind. Now, Deku, he does want to fall down onto his knees. Him going to look around, as his eyes, they haven't stopped glowing. And Deku, he does look up. He can sense better. Rava, Vatu, we are here. Both of them saying in unison. Where is it? I sense it. A bit further. You are close. I sense it as well. I sense evil as well. Vatu, what are you talking about? It is odd. Something is guarding it. Beware. Okay. But how much further? I don't know. Right. I should probably try to fly though, right? That would not be advised. Something is trying to slow you down. Another spirit? I believe so. But why? Wouldn't it want me to release the pressure between the worlds? It may not be a good spirit, Izuku. Okay, I get that, Vatu. But why? It's up here in the Arctic. Is it bad? Now, Deku, he does look up. As there actually is the ice. The ice in front of him, he does start to hear a large sound. It almost echoes in the distance, but it sounded like something, Deku leaping upwards into the air. As he does take flight. The ground underneath him is starting to shake. And right now, it does rip in half. Deku watching that, as the ice, it goes down to a point that he can't see. Deku watching snowfall into it. And right now, Deku, he does look down. Before, something does come flying upwards out of the ice. And Deku, whenever he does see it, he doesn't know what it is. But the appearance of it, they're almost like red tendrils, and Deku gonna fly up and away. Whatever this is, he needs to stay away from them. He needs to get away. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on? Okay, calm down, calm down. Deku feeling something wrap around his leg. Him spinning around to get a look at it. Before with his left leg going to with Avatar amplified firebending, blast away at it. And Deku does gonna feel it release. Before going to look and see hundreds of tendrils flying out towards him. And Deku, yeah. Right now, after trying to fly away from this thing, he does have an idea. This is a spirit, one not connected to the portal. It must be connected to the well he's going to. Okay, that's good. He's getting closer. They go flying fast, thinking about how they're trying to stop him. Him going to spin back around and start to use water bending. Deku going to pull up sheets of snow to protect himself. Many of these tendrils smashing into it and trying to break through them, while others they try to evade. And Deku, whenever he does go to see something, he does stare at it. It's almost like a large mountain made of just ice. And he does look at it. Him going to try and fly over it, as he's going to head up. And right now, Selena is going to directly bite down into his shoulder. Deku somewhat screaming out, as he's going to bring his hands up. But before he does, Selena's going to wrap around his waist and his legs. Deku feeling that, as he does try to spin his body around. And whenever he does try to attempt this, he does see them. There are more coming for him. Something biting directly down into his arm, as it does actually try to bite down into his leg as well. And Deku, he does also scream out before sending a large burst of fire out from his mouth. Him attempting to scorch all of these things. Now, Deku, after he does get away from these things, he does get to fly past the mountain, or the large ice mountain. And whenever he does so, he does look down. He sees cracks. All of them. This area, it's almost like a maze. Him going to fly down. As whenever he does so, more of these things are on the way. Deku flying down into the cracks, as he does try to move around. He doesn't know how far down they go, but he's got to be pretty far down. Him looking up. Some of those things, they're trying to come in here, but some of them seem afraid. Now, Deku, he does still move down, but he is concerned. Those things actually attacked him. Him looking towards his arm and seeing a bite mark. What are those things afraid of? They attacked the Avatar, but why is that? Now, Deku, he does continue to fly down. And as he does, it does feel strange. The spiritual energy here, it feels, well, denser. It's hard to say, but moving down here, it doesn't feel right. And Deku, he does arrive. Him seeing something strange. It's almost like a light. Deku bringing his hand up and reaching out. And he does gotta hover his hand over it. It's this thing in front of him. It looks like ice. It's made out of the same stuff that Spirit Orb was made out of. It's completely solid, but there's a large crack right here. Deku thinking, as he does go into the Avatar states, him just bringing his hand up and touching the wall, or better yet, the floor. Now, the moment Deku does, he does feel a large force throw him backwards. And right now, there actually is the entire area. The entire area is covered in a large burst of spirit energy. As the ground underneath this area, or above it, better yet, does get to throw itself open, and a light blasts upwards into the sky. And right now, there actually is back at the town. The entire town, they do see this. And right now, it's alarming. The sun was going to be going down very soon, and with a bright flash of light like this, it lit up the night sky. And there actually is Koya and everybody. They were going to be getting ready to head somewhere. And right now, people, they start commenting on the light. What is that strange light? And when people started running outside and seeing it, it felt strange. And there actually was Luna and you. They both began to start sensing it. This strange presence. And both of them, they did go to look at each other. They know he did it. They knew he opened the spirit portal. And there actually is Deku. Currently, he's lying in the snow. And he just won't sit up. It feels weird. What happened? Him looking around. As the sky, it's different. Before looking back down, the snow and everything, it's here, but he's not in the Arctic. And I'm just looking. Is he just gonna stand? The landscape. This presence. Did he? No way. Him bringing his hands up and feeling his body. He's in the spirit world. He's physically in the spirit world. This is a first. Hello? Deku looking around. There's no Vatu, no Rava, but he feels a strange sensation. Him looking over. There's a large tree in the distance. It's not too far away. And then there's something else. Over there. Is that him looking down and back towards the portal behind him? It's gotta be the other portal. But it isn't even that far away. This is odd. Deku begins to start walking. And the moment he does take a step, he does hear it. Something, it's moving his direction. And Deku, he does get to see a large wave of these enemies. These spirits. And many of them, they don't look friendly. Deku getting ready. Him going to directly fly upwards into the air as he does send out a large wave of fire. Deku blasting fire directly down to create a wall of it, as he does get ready with his earthbending. Him bringing up both of his hands and directly pulling up a large amount of earth, before directly going to directly smash it over towards the enemies. These spirits flying his direction. And Deku, he actually has earth flying up in front of him, before he's going to pull back his fist and going to smash it downwards, sending it flying. And many of the creatures, they are trying to evade and run, as some, they're crushed underneath this earth and they're trying to avoid the fire. And Deku, he's trying to protect the spirit portal. And as he is doing this, he does get to look directly up to see what's going on. These things are running to the portal and trying to get through, but he can't allow that. And Deku, he sees many things around him. He was looking down at these creatures, but now that he's up here in the air, he sees it. On the other side, it's almost similar. Him looking around, as for a second, he stops bending, and he does allow the rocks to directly fall towards his feet. There are tears on this side too. The damage, it's so much, and there's bodies on the ground. There are people here. Now, Deku, yeah. Right now he does get to look back down. And as some of the creatures are flying through the portal, Deku, he does directly bend their energy. Him bringing his hands up as he does gonna start pulling their bodies backwards and away. And right now some of these creatures, they're confused. As one is pulled upwards, Deku, he does directly go to look at it, bringing his hands up and closing them in a fist. Before the creature does scream out, as Deku, he rips it in two. Now, many of the creatures do directly stare at Deku, as Deku does again bring his hands up and go to grab more of these creatures. And some of them begin to start running away from the portal. They were not aware that a human could spirit bend. But right now, many of them, they are just running. And Deku, he does watch that. Before he does directly go to fly back down towards the ground. And, looking around again, this place, he really is here. Deku bringing his hand up to his chest. It feels odd. Him looking down and seeing another tattoo? What? No. Deku does just stare at it. It looks like Rava and Vatu. A symbol on his chest and his arms. They're glowing still. Why is that? Now, Deku, he is going to start walking over towards the southern spirit portal. And right now, after taking a few steps, he does have a lot on his mind. He just released the pressure in the north. And this, it's going to be released in the south. If this is going to draw in more spirits, then he does need to be ready. He needs to know what he's doing here. Now, we actually have in the Southern Water Tribe, where Deku, he does go to directly open the portal from the side. And over in the south, people were waiting. They heard that Deku, he would try to come here. However, there's an issue. Behind them, the ground is starting to erupt, and the earth is starting to shake. As the portal, it's blasted directly open. And the area, yeah, it does create a large amount of damage. And Deku, he does come stepping through it. Him looking up and around, as the area is different. And right now a few people are standing there. And Deku, he does directly turn his head from up to down, as he does actually have to dodge out of the way of a piece of lightning. And Deku, the moment he does go do that, he actually going to look back towards whoever may have sent it towards him. And Deku, he does stare at Yokits. The man, with his hands up, looking directly back at Deku. How is that possible? How is what possible? How are you here? How have I already done it? I was up north. Apparently, the portals, they're a lot closer than you think. That's not... How? Honestly, Yokits, I'm surprised. It wasn't even 100 feet from the other one. But on the other side, it's worse. The worlds, they really are messing together. Over there, I saw it. There are bodies and buildings out of place. You seriously can't say that you're doing the right thing here by trying to stop me. Izuku, I know where my allegiance do lie. And you're wrong, Yokits. You're very wrong. Now, many of the people staying with Yokits do going to start raising their hands. And some are raising weapons. And Deku, he does go look directly around at all of them. He feels strange. His powers and the Avatar state, they felt like another level, but with all this spiritual energy in the air, everything he feels, this is almost, how would you even describe this? He feels above even that. Deku bring up his hand, And the moment he does, all the metal in their weapons and clothing, it does start to get pulled away. It flying towards Deku, as Deku is going to crush it into a small ball. It the size of a baseball. And many benders who are here, they are watching that. As Deku, he was going to bring up his other hand. Him going to bloodbend many of them down and onto the ground. And Yokits, he does watch that. As Deku does then go to cover most of them in ice. And Yokits, he does stand there. Him just surprised. Deku just took out squads of people within seconds. And Deku just stand there. Against his former firebending master. The man, he is impressed. Yokits, will you give up? I will not. Then no. This is not personal. Yokit's going to bring up his hands and take up a stance. As Deku, he has to walk towards the man. Now, Deku and Yokits, they do begin their battle. The two are in the snow. And Yokits, he does try to face off against Deku. However, Deku, his airbending, well, his firebending actually, it's different. The two try and go blow for blow. Yokits believed he could beat Deku in a one-on-one, but Deku, his skill and his ability, they seem different. And Yokits, he's sloppy. Right now with everything going on, his people, they've been captured. His organization, it's beginning to crumble. And their goals was to stop what he just did. They just failed all of that. The man in front of Deku, he had so many things he wanted to do. And he's failed every single step. And there actually is one for Deku, he does actually go to directly dodge a blast that might have sent at him. As over Deku, he does bring up his hand, he actually directly jab Yokits up into the arm. And Yokits, his arm just not going to go limp. Him going to pull away, as he actually try and send a blast or a kick at Deku. And Deku, he has to directly dodge out of the way backwards of it, and with his left foot, directly kicking up a turn to fire. Yokits being sent blasting backwards as he does smash into the snow. And Yokits, he does just stare at Deku, who does go to directly flip his body and roll into the snow. Him going back up onto his feet, as so does Yokits. The old man, directly in front of him, he is staying there with a pure look of insanity on his face. And Deku just stare at him, asking Yokits what he wants to do here. And Yokits, yeah. He taught Deku many things. And right now, Deku, he seemingly just dismantled all of their plans. They were supposed to be here to stop him. And right now, Yokits, he is staring down at Deku. Right behind him, there's that large portal. And Deku, yeah, he is different. And right now, Yokits, he does decide just to bring up his hand. Him going to attack Deku with lightning bending. And right now, Deku, he does gotta bring up his own hand as well. Him immediately going to grab the lightning out of the air, and with his other hand, go to redirect it and charge up lightning as hard as he can. Now, Deku, he redirects it right back at Yokits. And Yokits, he does try to bring up his good hand and try to bring it around. Him attempting to grab the lightning. The moment he does, though, he actually is trying to fight back with it. Him struggling to redirect it. And he does just go to try and hold on to it. Before he does go to directly send it upwards and into the air. And the moment Deku does see that, Deku, he does go to bring up his other hand. Him going to directly use ice to grab upwards towards Yokits' hand. And then go to pull him down onto the ground. Yokits stuck there, as Deku does then go to freeze both of his legs. Now, Yokits, he is trying to bend himself out. And Deku, this time, he just gonna bring up his hand. Him going to bring it up and bend the blood vessels in Yokit's arm to make them a bit more numb. And Yokits, he does just scream out. Him trying to use firebending and get out. And as Deku is approaching, Yokits, he does actually try to firebend directly out of his mouth at Deku. And Deku, he just gonna directly blast water to cover Yokits' mouth. Yokits not really even able to unclench his jaw. Him trying to blast fire out of his nostrils. And Deku, he does just look at the man. As right now, he is standing there. And he does try to inform Yokits. He is going to show him the destruction that Karnak, he's done. Yeah. You want to know exactly why he's trying to stop this? This is harmonic. You can't beat me, Karnak. You can't beat me, Yokits. Karnak, he's deceived you. You're so brainwashed by everything he's told you. Just follow me. I'm going to let you up. But if you try to attack me, I'll bloodbend you. You can't beat me. There's too much spirit energy in the air. And honestly, I feel really, really good right now. It's like my bending's been amplified hundreds of times. Now, Yokits just stare at Deku. Deku's staring down at his hands, almost amazed. And Deku does get a turn. Him informing everybody who's encased in ice. All of them need to see the destruction. He is going to let them all go. If they try to fight him, they've already seen what he's done to their weapons. And they already do know that he can contain all of them. And they all should know. He should kill them. He really should. But he is not. He wants them to see it with their own eyes. The destruction. Now, Deku, he does gotta let them all up. However, Yokits, he does get onto his feet. He still does have his mouth covered with water. Deku waving his hand as it all is gonna fall down into the snow. Him gonna turn and walk. As Yokits, he does try to move forwards, shouting at Deku for what the hell he's doing. He's shouting at Deku that what he's doing is going against what they've been trying to achieve. What has that been, Yokits? What has it done? Now, Yokits just stared at Deku, informing him. What they are trying to do is bring balance. Deku shouting back at him, what they've been trying to do is destroy the balance. Now, Deku does take them all into the spirit world. And right now, after all of them do walk in and they are given a chance to see it, they're standing there on a platform Deku bent up. And they're looking into the distance. All over these portals, there are buildings, there are streets, there are corpses lying in the ground. And there are spirits just funneling through portals. And it doesn't make sense. And Deku does begin to tell them. He needs to fix all of this. Right now, he does not know how much energy needs to be released. But whenever it is done, he will seal the portals again. Or possibly the next avatar will. For right now, however, he wants them to understand and see this. This is what they have done. This is where their priorities and where their loyalty led. Now, a lot of people are staring at this. Right now, they're in the spirit world. And Deku, he's showing them how much evil has really been done. And Deku, he actually is going to take flight. Him flying forwards, as he actually is going to go into the avatar state once again. And Deku, he does got to bring his hands up. As the moment he does go to close them in a fist, and then force his hands across one another, as if he is closing a curtain. And Deku, whenever he does do this, some of the portals, they do start to somewhat seal up. The spirits, they somewhat back away from them, and recoil somewhat in fear. And Deku, he does continue movements like this. The way he's moving in the air, he looks more like an airbender, but then there's also what he's doing. It looks like he's mixing techniques, and the portals, they're beginning to retreat. Now, whenever Deku does do this, he does close the few that he does see in the area, as he is going to turn and inform them all. If any of them want to know anything else, or if they have anything to tell him, they should. Now, Yokitsu does look directly at Deku, before just saying something. Telling Deku where Karnak, he has told them to meet. Really? Yes. I fear that right now it would not be possible. I fear that right now much will happen. But why? Why would he trick us like this? Because he's not Haran. He's possessed by a spirit. What? Exactly. Yokits, you must have known at some point. Please. Something off, at the very least? No. I don't understand. You don't understand, or you can't. But this sounds insane. I know. Now, where is he? I don't know. I can try to help, but with both portals open, I don't know. Will he come here? He has to. Honestly, I don't know if he wanted me here, but I'll find him. Now, Karnak, Yokits, he doesn't understand. Deku needs to find Karnak. This man who he thought was a friend of his, who tricked him for years. He wants to destroy the world, not restore the balance, not do what he's been convinced they were doing, but, well, destroy the world. Now, the man, he does get to walk away. And Deku, he does inform him. Whenever he gets to the south, let him know where he is. And he'll be coming there soon. He'll come there tomorrow. If he cannot find him, he will hunt him down. And Yokits, he does get to turn to Deku and nod, informing him that he doesn't intend to run. Now, Deku just watched the man leave, and it does feel somewhat sad. Yokits was a man of peace. While he would fight, he had a very spiritual nature to him. And right now, he just learned that he's been going against his own very nature. Deku hopes that the man can find peace some way. But then again, he can only just try, can't he? Now, Deku, he would actually head back to the city in the north. And whenever he does arrive, a few people do see him. Him going to directly land and walk into the city, as a lot of people are staring at him. Some they're confused. Deku's clothes have burns on them, and he has bite wounds on him. Deku, he actually does walk into the city, and many people, they just stare. Right now, Deku, he has a good idea. They're on track. They're going to find Karnak, and that's what he needs to do. He has to stop that horrible vision from coming true. Okay, that's good. That's good. But what now? Let me let Deku just think. As somebody does come running up behind him and almost tackling him down into a hug. Deku, smashing forwards, as he's going to regain his footing. The moment his foot is going to smash into the ground, he is going to feel the area. Him somewhat smiling before turning back around, as he does going to greet Luna. Hey Luna. Her going to look up and kiss him. As whenever that does happen, you do actually have you who does come walking up. Ask him how things went. Things went fine. Then again, I did get bit by creatures. Or dark spirits. They go holding up an arm. Yow. That looks like it hurts. It kinda does, but I sealed a few of the portals I found on the other side. The other side? Wait, did you go into the spirit world? Yeah, I did, actually. It's so different over there. Wait, so you actually stepped into the spirit world, Izuku? Like, physically? Yeah, there's a lot going on. And I also managed to open the southern spirit portal. You did? But that's on the other side of the world. Not over there, actually. It's, closer than you think. There's also this tree. I don't know much about it, but Vatu and Rava, they've been silent. I don't know, but there was also this thing there. I'm not too sure how to explain it. My bending, it's better, too. Is it? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just there's no real way to describe it. Deku's smiling. And right now, these two they're surprised. Uh right. Where's everybody at? They're at the hotel. Hotel? Yeah, we have a place to stay. Um Also, Koya, she wanted you to meet her mom. Her mom. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a bit complicated, but we could figure it all out tomorrow. But we'll help you get back there. Now, Deku, he somewhat is gonna nod. And right now, after getting back to the hotel, he does get showered, bandaged, and he does get a meal. And right now, there actually is where he is looking out into, well, the sky. He just does stand there outside. The world is so huge. And, well, this is his vision. Everything he's seen. Everything he's thought about. He feels it. And he understands it. Can he really accept this responsibility, though? He has. He can. He's the Avatar. He does have this. Now, Deku, he does head back to bed. And right now there actually is the next morning, where Deku, he's sitting down and eating with both his parents, but also the girls. Deku's friends, they decided to give them a little bit of privacy. And right now, Koya, she is sitting there with her mother, her brother, and the other two. As Deku, he is sitting there somewhat sipping something from a bowl. As Koya, she tries to introduce her mom. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.